I'm back. Try some new products with me, but first things first is skin prep. I'm toning my face with the Ordinary toner, and then I've been obsessing with the e.l.f. skincare products. So I moisturize with my Holy Hydration moisturizer, and I go in with the e.l.f. primer. It's called the Power Grip Primer. I don't always use a primer, honestly, but when I'm doing more like a long-lasting look, I do use this one. I like it a lot because I have really oily skin. So for those of you that have been asking about my eyebrows, I use the Anastasia Brow Pomade in dark brown, and I basically just outline my eyebrows and fill them in like a basic drawing stencil type thing. I then brush them out just to make them look more natural and get rid of any harsh lines. So this is me again showing you guys my brush and how much product I basically use. You want to get really close and detailed with your brows, but it doesn't have to be too perfect because you are going to clean them up later. And this is just how I like to do my brows. I like them very like kind of thick but natural looking. I stop at one point, go to the next, come back. So basically keep adding little strokes, but I don't add really any more product just because I don't like the really harsh lines and I don't like them super dark. I like them to be natural looking even though my hair is really dark. And then yeah, just brush them out. Like you literally can't brush them out too much because that's what's gonna dissolve any harsh lines. Then here I'm gonna show you guys how I conceal them or clean them up basically. So I'm using a really thin concealer brush. It has a little bit of a long bristle in a sense, and I clean them very like detailed towards the bottom of my brow. Well, both bottom and top, but especially the bottom because especially if you're doing like a really clean specific eye look and you're gonna maybe highlight your brow bone, I feel like this will make it pop a little bit more. So yeah, plus this is just how I like my eyebrows. I try to use concealer that is the same tone as my skin. That's just me though. And then I do brush them out just to blend it. I'm also cleaning up the top part of my brow and this is kind of just shaping it, but if you feel like you might have went into your brow or I like it really sharp, but if you don't want it that sharp or you do want to sharpen again, you went into your brow, don't feel bad to come back and go in with your eyebrow brush. Like, it's your makeup, your look. There's no right or wrong way to do it. This is just my personal preference, and yeah. So the moment that I have been waiting for, I've been dying to try this foundation. Oh my goodness. So basically, this foundation is a little bit on the thinner or more liquidy consistency, which is fine because I feel like it gives it a more natural look. I don't always use a blender, but I decided to use it because again, it's so liquidy and I wanted that super like natural flawless finish. So yeah, I'm just here speeding up the process. I feel like that little drip came a long way. But I did add a little bit more on my forehead and just blend as much as you can. I did try to not use too much just because I didn't know if this was going to be like transfer proof or too much product. So yeah, just blend it out until you're satisfied and you have that finish that you want. Again, you can add more. I just wanted a more like medium sheer coverage. I'm now gonna come in with that same concealer that I used on my eyebrows. It is pretty close to my skin tone, but it is a little bit lighter. And I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of brighten up my frontal part of my face, if that's what you call it. And just blend. I did learn this little trick. I don't remember who it was on my TikTok, and they basically were blending their concealer out on one side and setting it before they went to the next, and you'll see me do that here in a little bit. So this little trick was meant for a more like perfect set, long lasting, and for no creases, which I liked. Okay, so here I'm going in with a different beauty blender. I grabbed some loose face powder. I'm actually not using anything fancy. I recently went back to the Airspun loose face powder, and yeah, that's just what I'm using. I think because I have really oily skin, it works for me. Again, I had stopped using it and I'm using it again, and I don't really have any complaints on it. I guess I could see how it can get a little like dry looking, but honestly, just like once you are done with your makeup and you apply like your setting spray, I just feel like it evens it all out. But then again, I have super oily skin, so the dryness doesn't really affect me. I go in a little bit more with my concealer if I have to, because I like it to look pretty sharp, and just with the extra little like foundation that you've applied with your sponge and stuff can kind of like press into your eyebrow, which is totally fine. Like I mentioned before, if you want them super like defined or you want to make them darker, at any point you can come back and add some more product to your brows. So there I am again with my Airspun. I'm now kind of dusting off that setting powder. It's the same powder, but I'm just like blending it out now. And I put a little bit powder on my brush so that it can like not feel so harsh. And then I kind of just go over all the parts I concealed with a little bit of the residue powder, just to kind of make it more set, because again, I have really oily skin. Like my skin is very oily. It's kind of embarrassing. Right here, kind of brushing out a little bit of that powder and foundation that has touched my brows. And then I always go in with this NYX brow gel. I just feel like it adds a little bit of a fake hair, and it just gives it a more natural look for me. You can actually skip that part though, but that's just my personal preference. And then yeah, just some blush now. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy. I just like to give it a little bit of a flushed look, and I am using a Dior blush. You can use any blush, but I recently picked this one up too. It's called Rosewood, and it just goes with my skin. It's pinky, but it's like not like a bright pink. And then I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my Fenty highlight, which I am due for a new one, but it's still my favorite. And I tend to apply a lot of highlight. It's my favorite. I added a little bit more powder because I just like to set everything throughout the process, but you can skip that step as well. I'm gonna start coming in with my eyeshadow. I really wasn't gonna do any eyeshadow today, but I figured why not just to complete a full beat look. It's actually nothing super fancy, kind of just adding some color, and you'll see here that it's nothing super fancy. This is really kind of like my everyday look if I'm doing something. Otherwise, I just do like, sometimes I really just do concealer, brows, and eyelashes, and a super nice lip color combination. But yeah, this is like my everyday look. And you just blend. Yeah, just keep blending because it can be a little harsh for you or not. But I am blending a lot, especially because I'm kind of like bringing it out a little bit, and it was also feeling a little bit too dark for me, which is fine, but I wanted it more of like that natural beat. So yeah, as you can see here, I'm using the LA Girl palette. I actually love this palette for the price. Wow, like this color range, wow. Anyways, this is another little trick that I got from one of like the big makeup artists. It could have been like Makeup by Mario, I'm not sure, but I don't like how it looks really defined, super defined, so I kind of just add a little highlight over it. But I really love how it just adds that clean touch to it. Maybe if you're just a little bit more soft tone, like more soft with the application, but for this look I wanted it a little bit more blended. But if you want that super defined sharp, try this. I added just a little bit more highlight to the bridge of my nose and the tip of my nose, just for like that selfie shiny glistening effect. And then I also am adding some highlight here on my eyes. I just wanted a shimmery look, and this is kind of my go-to for like the more natural but full beat look. I could always do different tones or darker tones, but this is kind of like just like my everyday beat. And I do add a lot because I like it to really like show. Plus, again, I need a new highlight, so I'm like trying to get the last of it. So the most little tedious part to do is applying the lashes. I curled my lashes, but not super curly because I don't want them kind of poking out through my eyelash. But anyways, you have to, so you put the glue on and you kind of have to let it sit for a couple seconds, otherwise it's not going to be sticky, and every time you go to fix it, it's gonna just kind of move around. You want it to kind of stick at one point so it's easier, and that's why I was kind of like trying to blow air with my hand on my eyelash. But yeah, and this is just how I apply them. Super effective, super pressed down, super crisp application. It is kind of like, I guess some people can be scared to poke their eye, but I trust myself. I think I am my favorite makeup artist, so yeah. And then I press it in more and kind of poke it in more with my firm like finger press. And yeah, that's the application, and let's do it again. Yeah, I'm not the best videographer. Obviously my mirror is right in my face, so you cannot see me applying my lash, and I applied it so effortlessly, and then I just moved the tip around because I want it right where it's supposed to go. Once I confirm, that's when I start to like press it. But yeah, see how it kind of just, well, you couldn't see because of the mirror, but it kind of just stayed in the middle, and then I moved the corners around just so it's like perfect. And if it doesn't match my other eyelash, I will redo it. But yeah, I'm like pressing it down, and honestly I only use the Kiss glue, the Kiss eyelash glue in white or clear. It's like the white bottle, And that's the only glue I use. I'm then going in with kind of like a little skin tone liner for my waterline. I just always just kind of like to add a little bit of oomph, and I wanted a little bit more natural looking, so I use this color. But sometimes I like to be fun and use baby blue or pink or white. But yeah, now I'm trying a new lip combo, which I was super excited for and loved. It's called Cream in Your Coffee, and the LA Girl pencil called Chai Latte. This is a little bit of a more like true brown or a little bit more darker combo, I guess you could say. So try it at your own risk, but I am Latina and I am tan, so I loved how this looked. Plus I love a super like dark lip, red, brown, anything like that. I'm not into super light nudes just because I feel like it makes me look a little washed. But yeah, and then you are gonna fix this, so it doesn't kind of matter how you apply it. I always go in and I conceal it and define it with my same concealer brush. I love how it's, again, it's like a little bit of a longer bristle and it's thin, and I just give it that precise look. So yeah. Also, if you feel like your lines look so harsh, just come back in with your beauty sponge or the little concealer brush that's a little bit thicker, and just kind of blend it all out. I'll show you a little bit further in the video what I mean. So I really loved the consistency of this lipstick and the color. It was just so pretty. I also loved how it's just so like creamy and shiny. Yeah, I loved it. And again, it was called Cream in Your Coffee by MAC, and it's a cream sheen finish. I don't know if that's how you say it. And I'm just going with some final little touches of blending with a different little brush that I use for concealer. And I'm just kind of blending out and, you know, just making everything look better. Then here I noticed a little bit of unevenness on my lip liner, so I went ahead and added a little bit more and redefining it. I mean, if you go like overboard with your lip liner, who cares, honestly? Like, it doesn't matter. Who cares if it makes your lips look bigger? Whatever, they're your lips, your makeup. That was the final look, guys. Thank you for watching.